this is Jenny Bell from Clarington, Ohio, and I'm listening to Barbecue Central.
Happy to have you aboard here for the Really Big Barbecue Show.
Boing. We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me!
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle. Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude!
Succulent fish. What?
He ate sushi for wiener.
Oh, listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
And just like that, we are into the second hour. Welcome in. You found the Barbecue Central show on purpose or by mistake. No matter. You found, sit right down, relax, take a load off. If you were wondering if there's any shows out there that talk about the live fire industry, yes, this is the one. Somehow you've lucked into it. Available on podcast as well, so you don't have to commit on the live show, but we certainly love the live show people for doing that. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at BBQ Central Show / BBQ Central Show on Facebook, Periscope, simulcasting the video as well. Tune in. Everywhere where you can get live audio or video that counts, and anywhere you can get a podcast after the fact that counts, you can get this show. Just search for it. Still to come, Max Good, next segment, and Oscar Garcia, the winner of the San Antonio Rodeo Barbecue event. Coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less this Friday, none other than the guy that we just kind of were talking about in the chat room. Doubleheader with Ted Reeder. Of course, the topic is going to be things that you should be eating this weekend, doing the soup or bowl parties that you might have. Staying free and clear of lawsuits from the NFL. So if you plan on having a big soup or bowl party Sunday, Ted Reeder on the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less that will be released this Friday is going to be something you're going to want to listen to. 2015, I believe, is the one that reaches back to. So fairly recent. We've had some 10-year-old ones now, 11-year-old ones. Very excited. The show is going to be celebrating a big birthday, big milestone coming up in February. You know we're going to be doing something special for that I haven't figured out yet, because now I'm just thinking about it. Big number coming up. Big number. Also, don't forget that I appear on this thing called the John Cupo Show every Friday morning. So if you're local Willoughby, Ohio, or within a 15-minute radius of Willoughby, I mean, it's not a blowtorch like WTAM or whatever big news radio station is in your market that gets 2 hours out in any direction. It's the opposite of that. But 15, 20 minutes. Typically when I get downtown Cleveland, that reception cuts out. And then I pick up the real transmitting radio stations. 1330 on your AM dial if you're in Willoughby or surrounding, or simulcast at 101.5 FM for those of you that are local. Otherwise, forget all that and just go over to wintradio.com. And if you hang out there this Friday and you're listening on the stream, rating it 1 to 10, tell me how good you think that audio stream sounds. I'm trying to have an active hand in making sure they sound as good as possible in all outlets. Why have FM quality on the frequency modulated band and then have stuff that sounds like string and tin cans Online. That's where everybody's listening. Does anybody even listen to the radio anymore? Satellite radio? Sure, I listen to satellite radio. Big Howard Stern fan, of course. It's nice that Romy went over to CBS Sports Radio. They're on Sirius too. Convenience, more or less. If I can't even begin to think that when Howard Stern retires, what I'm going to do. What am I going to listen to? I'm so scared I don't even think about it. I don't fear death. I fear that when the Howard Stern Show leaves the airwaves, there will be such a void and a vacuum the earth might suck into itself. Or the earth just might suck. I don't want to talk about it any further. I do want to get back to an old take of mine, however. You know, from time to time, I like to reevaluate my stance on certain things maybe I didn't agree with or that I hated. And tonight, I'm hoping to revisit my take on the Bloody Mary, or as we say around here in the compound, the Bloody. You know, I was watching my girl Robin Lindars take part in a Steak Cook-Off Association event that was being hosted at the Shed this past weekend. Which, by the way, she finished 33rd out of 90 teams on the steak. So, Robin, shout out, top third. We will recap that with her in a few weeks when she's back on for her monthly segment. But part of that event was a Bloody Mary ancillary category, which Robin finished third in. I mean, I want to point out the obvious, but Robin should be entering a lot more Bloody Mary contests than she should be entering in steak contests. Neither here nor there. You know, I looked at Robin's entry, then I saw what won second, then I saw what won first. Gang, I am here to tell you, there is no doubt in my mind that my original take on Bloody Marys going over the top to the point of utter ridiculousness has never rang more true than it does this very second of the day. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but this is a drink category, right? I'm here to tell you that those Bloody Marys that took top spots in that event down there at the Shed were more weighted on appearance than taste. They had to be. And don't tell me I'm full of it. All you have to do is take a look at those entries. Cheeseburgers, whole crabs, crab legs, prawns, pork belly buttons, every type of freaking vegetable available on earth, roots, legumes, all hanging off the glass. How the fuck do you even drink that thing? It has to take 10 minutes to deconstruct the food to access the actual drink itself. I can see a celery stalk, maybe a piece of bacon or jerky as a mixer, but this other stuff, give me a break. It's totally outrageous. And while I have no proof to back this up, and I mean no proof, it has to be the main reason that every other country in this world hates us. Because our Bloody Mary drinks are so out of control. They are so outrageous. Show me a Bloody Mary contest that judges on drink alone, no garnish. Then we'll see who can make the best bloody. By the way, I think any bloody garnished ridiculously or not is gross. I've tried them. I tried them again. Tried them again. No thanks. This is not color my take on bloodies, just my taste. By the way, I showed these pictures to my wife without any context, without blinking an eyelash. She said, "That's so fucking stupid." So there you have it. I'm right again. Stand by. Hey, get the thing? Got it on? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to show you one thing. Out of nowhere, neighbor Desmond is in. I have a terrible green screen here. I can't even really see you that well. Oh, dear.
Well, I was unexpected, so don't worry about
Yes,
it.
camera. Okay, that needs to tilt up. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Look at this guy. Neighbor D, what's up?
Happy to be here.
Desmond D, baby, yeah! Look at this guy.
Happy to be here.
What happened? Is it too cold for you to go to work tomorrow, so now you can hang out?
Pretty much. I don't have to go to work. We got called off.
Really?
Yeah. They closed banks, apparently.
You're not like in the 5th grade and you got called off. You actually have a real job and work called you off?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, shit's crazy.
Wow. Well, I mean, I'm glad your first thought was to come over and hang out for the second hour. That's great.
You absolutely right.
All right, move that microphone a little closer to your face.
I had to come show my support.
Come on. Move that microphone closer to your face. What are you talking about?
That work?
Yes. Way better.
All righty.
All right. Well, we got a lot of good things happening here in the second hour, Desmond. We have Max Good from Amazing Ribs coming up. We also have the winner of the San Antonio Rodeo Barbecue Cook-Off, 35 past. Can you deal with that?
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
let's do this.
Look at this. Desmond's in. Very excited. All right, let me talk to you quickly about the Barbecue Guru. We've always believed that outdoor cooking should be easy, because it can be, especially with the Monolith Barbecue Guru Edition grill. The Monolith is the world's first temperature-controlled smoker with a built-in power draft fan. This means smarter control and greater freedom with automatic temperature control. Easily choose your cooking time and temperature. Let the Monolith do the work of a sous chef or a barbecue pitmaster with minimal effort. You now have oven-like precision at the grill, and you can serve the tastiest, juiciest meals each and every time. If you currently have a Barbecue Guru temperature controller, you don't need to buy a new one. All you need to do is hook that controller right to the fan that's built in to the Monolith. BBQGuru.com or 800-288-GURU. That's all you need. All you need. All right, Max Good coming up. Neighbor Desmond is in. Things have taken a turn from bad to great. Things weren't actually going bad. Desmond, are Bloody Marys out of hand with the amount of decoration?
Absolutely.
Yes, okay.
Absolutely. You just need a good salt and pepper vodka. Absolute provides one, and you're good to go.
Are you sponsored by them?
No.
Maybe they should sponsor.
Maybe Sam should be sponsored. My father-in-law. Maybe Sam should be sponsored.
Yeah.
He's the one that makes them for me.
All right.
Things are fucking awesome.
Yeah. Well, neighbor Desmond must have been drinking. He's already sworn 3 times here on this show. Look out.
I walked in and I heard you going,
yeah, but this is my show. I'm allowed to say whatever I want. Your mic's off now, pal. How about that? All right, we'll be back with Max Good. Stick around. Be right back. Uh-oh. Hold on. I was messing around with my thing here. Oh, we got an issue. Don't worry, I got it.
Big name interviews, advice on cooking brisket and ribs, and the only host willing to share his honest opinion on all things important in the world of barbecue. It's the Barbecue Central Show.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Smithfield. Are you signed up? Desmond, are you signed up for the Smokin' with Smithfield National Barbecue Championship?
I am not.
Oh, well, register you can for free, my friend. So sign up today. Hit the website, smokinwithsmithfield.com for all the details. That's smokinwithsmithfield.com. Promise that you'll do it?
Of course.
All right.
I go to Costco and buy Smithfield ribs all the time.
Great. Good product placement, Desmond. You're getting the hang of it.
It's working out.
Hey, we missed him the last couple of times, but he's here and ready to rock and roll. It's the keeper of the flame over at AmazingRibs.com. Max Good joins us here on the show. Max, how are you, buddy?
Hey, doing all right. Good to see you again, pal.
Max, say hello to neighbor Desmond.
Hey, what's happening?
My audio went out. I can't hear.
What do you mean your audio went out?
I can't hear.
You can't hear?
I can't hear.
Hold on. How about that? How about that?
No.
How about that?
Perfect.
Yes.
Yes.
How,
in there.
How did you hear me before?
Because.
Was I just yelling that
Pretty
loud?
much.
It made it through the earphones? Oh, wow.
Pretty
Crazy.
much.
All right. Well, Max Good is in the house
Max,
here.
how you doing?
Doing good. How about you, Dez?
I'm doing fairly well. I appreciate you asking.
It's very cold outside. Neighbor Desmond was called off of work tomorrow, if you can believe it.
That's happening here too,
Much
guys.
like
How cold is it by you?
It promises to be ambient negative 10 or so in the morning. So, it'll be probably negative 25, 30 after the wind chill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're calling for a negative 29 tomorrow.
Yes. All right. Well, Max wins. The who's going to be colder. All right, Max, so we have a bunch of stuff to get through here this evening, and I was trying to figure out a way to tap into this. This is the only way I can think of it. Hell has frozen over, Max, just in time for the real cold hitting.
I guess that explains it then.
We're going to be talking about two grills, or cookers, I guess you could say, and from manufacturers that I would typically scoff at, but we should hold off the scoffing until we talk to Max.
Well, I will tell you, I scoffed a lot at the first one I'm going to talk about, and that's Char Griller.
Yeah.
Because I fell victim to what many poor schmoes did. Before I met Meathead, I said, I got to get a smoker.
Yep.
And dang it, those offset smokers look cool. I'm just going to buy this Char Griller offset smoker for $150 at Home Depot. And they're just almost, some of your listeners will disagree. They'll go, well, I went and I did all this work on it. I welded it. I brought all these gaskets and stuff, but and I got it to work okay. But I can tell you, they just don't work well. That's why we don't recommend them. Right. However, I did try one of their gas grills that's kind of a modified charcoal barrel, and they've been on the market a long time, but I was scoffing away.
Right.
But they got a new guy, and he called me, and I said, all right, send me one of those gas grills. And I must say, they had relatively high-powered burners, just a 3-burner gas grill, about 13,000 plus BTU input on them. And the thing that I really was impressed is it's seared better than even more expensive gas grills. And it costs, you can get it from less than $200.
Really?
Now don't get your name and, play put on it or anything, because they aren't going to last forever. But if you're in that price range, forget about all the bells and whistles and lights on the knobs and all that. I'm telling you, this thing will out-sear just about anything I've tried, in the lower price ranges. Let me make that clear. It's a little difficult to bring down for smoking and roasting, but it can be done just like with any gas grill. Usually the typical problem you have with particularly inexpensive gassers is they don't get hot, but they're still don't go down to 225 if you want to, even with all the burners on low, so you got to go 2 zone setups anyway. Anyway, that one blew me away, and we're definitely recommending it to people that are in that price range.
Let's ask a question here. Desmond and I are both fairly avid outdoor cooks, especially when the weather picks up. And I say when the weather picks up, anything that's above freezing or warmer than that, and not torrentially raining. So we might be outside cooking 3 and 4 and 5 days a week, maybe more. What kind of a general lifespan are you seeing out of this Char Griller Grilling Pro realistically?
They gave it, as I recall, they gave it something like a 5-year warranty on the body. And maybe it could go because it's a little heavier gauge steel than the really flimsy stainless steel stuff. Although it's funny, once I determined that it got really hot, it gets up above 800 degrees when you got everything cranked up.
Really?
I'm looking at their manual, and it says don't let it get above 450. I go, wait a minute. So I talked to the guys, and they issued an official statement, which I have at my review at AmazingRibs.com, which essentially says allow it to get as hot as it can, but be forewarned it'll reduce the life of the grill. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if you put a cover on it, they actually make pretty good covers. Char griller covers are pretty good. And of course it also depends on how much you use it. But, there's probably some people that just keep them going for a long time. I can't see it lasting. Certainly not as good as a Weber or a higher quality grill.
Right. Desmond, turn your lights on there so we can get some of the green screen haze out of there. And so this is under $200 or $200?
Yeah, I mean, the list is like $199. Yeah. So, and there you can always get them on sales. I shouldn't say always, but it happens quite a bit with those kind of products.
All right. So is this like a gold medal?
I gave it a gold medal.
Yeah.
Because we always weigh in the price too. And for $200 or less, it's pretty amazing to me.
Yeah.
And I like that kind of stuff. I think, Greg, we've talked about it. I get to try some things that I wouldn't have bought myself, thousands and thousands of dollars. And it's like, wow, this is great. And most of that stuff works pretty good, and it better, for that kind of money. But I still have my heart with the peoples, us peoples, that aren't going to spend several $1,000s.
Yeah.
But they want something that will work for them, and particularly for somebody who's on a budget, who $200 is about all I can swing right now. I definitely would have to recommend that one.
All right, the other one is from Masterbilt.
Masterbilt.
I gotta be honest. Let me make sure that we're coming from a position of correctness here. I'm not intimating that you also said that I did, but I haven't not been a fan of Masterbilt, but I don't necessarily think I've been a fan of Masterbilt. So I'm interested to hear about it.
They're actually, we had some bad experiences with them a few years back, but I saw them. It looked just like going and seeing their equipment. That the quality was getting better, the builds were getting better. We haven't tested a lot of their stuff, but actually, a big investment company purchased Masterbilt and Smoke Hollow, and get this, Kamado Joe.
Oh, really?
So all three brands are run by this. I don't know if I should say they're run by this company, but they're somehow interconnected now. It is kind of, Smoke Hollow and Masterbilt. That doesn't make it's not as surprising. But Kamado Joe, I was a little surprised. Let's see what happens. But I wonder if that coincides with this innovation that Masterbilt has come up with their new gas cabinet smoker. They call their thermotemps. They come in two sizes. And this is what's groundbreaking about it, is that it is a thermostatically controlled gas cooker. And you just don't see many of those outside. Meathead and I have been harping about it forever. It's like, we got them indoors. Why can't you get them outside? And I hear a lot of different explanations. I think it's coming. But I have to fall back on the idea that if it could be done easily and affordably, it would be done. At any rate, this thing, it's got a temperature range of 175 to about 350, and you just set it. There's no thermostat on it. You'd probably, if you have your own digital thermometer, wouldn't hurt to put it in there. But it was a breeze to work with. It had some other really neat features about it. It had a fuel gauge for the LP tank, which was different. Charborough is using these. They're not based on weight like the Weber gas LP gauges. They're based on pressure inside the tank. And that I couldn't tell you how well it works, but it is a nice feature. It has a flame sensor, so if the flame blows out on the burner, it automatically shuts off the gas, so you don't have an issue with that. It's 2 doors, which many upright gas smokers have, but that's always nice. But it has a really neat wood tray that's attached to the lower door. So when you swing the lower door out, the tray is attached, to the door, so you don't have to slide the tray out. And I don't know, it was just really cool, man.
What was the price range on that one?
They actually goosed the MSRP on. When I reviewed it, it was $350, and now they want $450 for it. But they're unloading. All they did was change the logo from the original model, and they're unloading those, so you can get deals on them if you can find them. I even confirmed it with them because some of our readers were asking, are these different specs? Is there anything different about it? And Masterbilt told me all it's different is the logo on the lower door. So grab those old ones up if you can, and hopefully we'll see. That's the kind of brand, once again, you always see specials on them.
And you said that you turn it on and you have no real ability to control finite temperature.
Well, no, it's thermostatically controlled. There's a thermostat inside. It's in that sense, if people are familiar with pellet smokers, you set it like an indoor kitchen oven.
Okay, so you can set it to 225 or 350 and it'll just stay there.
Yes, exactly. And maximum range is about 350.
Got it. Do we have, Desmond, do you have any questions for Max yet?
Not necessarily. I was just doing some research on this is the Masterbilt stack. Masterbilt, was it the 44?
The 340.
340, okay.
Yeah.
Looking at the wrong one.
All right.
Well, that's the larger one.
Yeah.
They make a smaller one. I forget what, 30 or something, 300. So it's offered in two sizes, but they're identical in their features and performance. And yeah, it's nice. Gas smokers are pretty nice. They work really well.
Max, are we allowed to talk at all about the thing that you got your hands on recently, which is it's my favorite grill manufacturer. I know Desmond owns a kettle version of this manufacturer's grill. We're all, what can I say? We're all pretty big fans of Weber here. And I remember, was it a year ago or maybe it was 2 years ago now, Max, that we were talking about a big Genesis revamp and taking a bunch of different models under one name and blah, blah, blah. And so Well,
actually, 2018, I think something went haywire in the land of Weber, and that's pretty rare. They're pretty dang good about what they do, and I share your appreciation of the brand. But boy, when they rolled out their Genesis 2 for 2018, we were wondering what the heck was going on. Where there were a lot of things we were upset about or disappointed about, and rather than relive the past, when they came up with the new, I call it the Genesis 2 2.0, they've sort of reined a bunch of elements in that they were trying to do, went back to a lot of basics, and I think what they've come up with is they're back to where Genesis used to be in many ways. I got one on my deck now, but it's under about a foot of snow. And did I mention it's -6 degrees out there, Greg?
I've heard, yes.
Yeah, I did a couple little tests on it, but I haven't cooked on it yet. But I have high hopes from just the little bit I've seen. One of the things we disliked about the 2018 Genesis, they broke it up into two lines. They had their standard Genesis and the Genesis LX, and the LX was really expensive. And in my view, it was like halfway between what the previous tried and true beloved Genesis line was and their top of the line Summits. And you're like, what do you get for this? All the burners were underpowered. They had this kooky system where they did not allow any there. They did not offer any sear burners on any model.
Yeah.
And they said, well, you don't need it because on the LX models, the dial goes up to super hot. I forget what they called it. And we were all joking. We were going, this is like Spinal Tap, where the dials go up to 11 on the Marshall amplifiers, and it was still underpowered. The one I got on my deck, the main burners are higher powered than the ones on the LX model. And it's like, well, okay, well, you put an extra notch on the knob and you say that's a searing system. And it was disappointing. I have high hopes for this. As always with Weber, beautifully made, beautifully designed. I was just saying to one of the retailers recently that since I just slapped this one together, I wouldn't say I enjoy putting grills and smokers together, but with Weber, it's a more pleasant experience because everything is so well thought out. Even when they design them, they think about who's going to put them together and how they're going to package them, and it's noticeable.
Max Good, AmazingRibs.com, joining us here on the show. Max, you want to do a lightning round before I let you go?
Oh, sure.
All right.
Excuse me. I have a little
Max
cold.
is dying over there. Max, come back to us. All right, here we go. Fun list of questions we're going to race through. First answer on the top of your head. There's no wrong answers unless it's wrong, and then I'll let you know. True or false, searing seals in the juices?
False.
Yes or no, you still have the first barbecue pit you ever owned?
I don't, and one of the things that's making me cry is my 24-year-old Weber Performer. The kettle was still working, although the lower vents were getting a little flimsy. The frame blew out on it.
Oh, no.
I finally put it out by the mailbox, and it was gone immediately. I hope somebody
I bet.
light it up and use it. But I got a Summit charcoal grill on my deck, and I said, well.
All right, let it rest or let it eat?
Well, yeah, this idea of now we're talking about steaks.
Max.
You don't need to let a
Max. No dissertation. Give me the answer for Christ's sake.
No, don't let it rest. Sorry.
All right, radio or podcast?
What's that?
Radio or podcast?
Oh, well, of course, a podcast.
Bourbon or gin?
Bourbon.
Old-fashioned or Sazerac?
I'll say old-fashioned.
Beef brisket or pork ribs?
Beef brisket.
Guy Fieri or Bobby Flay?
Bobby Flay. No insult, God.
Ina Garten or Ree Drummond?
What's that?
Ina Garten or Ree Drummond?
Ina Garten.
Open pit or Sweet Baby Ray's?
Sweet Baby Ray's.
All right, 2 for 2. Good for you. Goodness. All right, Max Good. It can be found here on this show once a quarter, talking about what's new and happening in the world of live fire cooking when it comes to cookers. You can keep up with him over at AmazingRibs.com. He's the keeper of the flame. Max, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you. It's always my pleasure, Greg. And Des.
It has been a pleasure.
All right, guys. Mutual love fest. I can see it. All right, there we go. Well, now I got to get us back in to the shot. Oh, man, I didn't even know you were coming. Now my shot's all jacked.
It's all right, man. It's all right. Hey, check this out. I went to, remember I texted you the other day about the opening of City
Barbecue. City Barbecue, right?
I actually went today for lunch.
And?
It was actually pretty damn good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Right. I was pleasantly surprised. I talked to the I stumped the kid behind the register, though, because I got 2 meats. I got the chicken and I got the brisket.
Yeah.
And I go, hey, let me ask you a quick question. And he goes, what's up? I go, hey, with that brisket, is this the point or the flat? And he goes,
oh, he didn't know.
He had no idea.
Really?
He had no idea. I mean, young kid, but the manager came and he was like, well, we use the entire brisket. We get them in and we season them, we smoke them, and we cut them from start to finish. And I go, okay. I said, I was just curious. I'm not the, You're
not the snob?
I'm not the snob.
That you're trying to be?
No.
All right, well, good. All right, so I should
undercook the steak.
I should check them out, right?
Yeah, you should.
All right.
Yeah. They gave me free banana pudding also.
Oh, free banana pudding.
You can't go wrong with free shit.
Now, you're going to need to move to your right a little bit, I think. Again? Yes. And move back. Why the hell did you move up so far?
That's where
I got my
you
got my junk.
Yeah, it's all good.
That was funny. I got my junk. All right. Neighbor Desmond is in.
What's happening, folks?
That was Max Good talking about new cookers. I'm going to talk to you quickly about Southside Market and Barbecue, established in 1882. Southside, the oldest barbecue joint in Texas. and they have been owned and operated by the same family for 3 generations. Famous for the original beef sausage, the coarse ground in a natural pork casing, authentic Central Texas barbecue as well. All meats, including the prime briskets, slow smoked and slow smoked for many hours over real Texas post oak wood. Shipping nationwide via the online store, SouthsideMarket.com. They also ship fresh and smoked sausages nationwide. Shipping customers can choose to order now, ship later, include a custom gift note, and mail to multiple addresses without additional shipping charges. That's what I did, sending out gifts this year. All shipped items vacuum sealed to ensure freshness, ease of preparation for the customer, shipped on dry ice to ensure complete freshness upon arrival. All meats processed in that on-site USDA-inspected facility. On-site meat markets for fresh and smoked products. Custom orders are welcome. 2 restaurants for you to try. Elgin, Texas since 1882. Bastrop, Texas since 2014. Grocery distribution through Texas and many surrounding states. You can get 10% off your order right now if you go to SouthsideMarket.com and use code BBQ Central. Lowercase, one word, BBQ Central. Anything at SouthsideMarket.com at checkout. Who doesn't want to save 10%? Desmond, I know you want to save 10%.
I know. I always want to save money.
Who doesn't? Now I got to resize because you moved back. Trying to get us to look like we're really looking at each other. Look to your left. Yeah. See, we just looked at each other. So weird. All right. We are back with Oscar Garcia. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show is being brought to you by Fireboard. Monitor up to 6 different temperatures simultaneously. Connect to Wi-Fi for cloud-based monitoring or connect via the Bluetooth. If you have Alexa or the Google Assistant, you're in luck because Fireboard is fully integrated with both. Find out more by visiting fireboard.com or call 816-945-2232. Sure, I'm dialing the right number. I thought I was going to call the guy from Sweden. I don't want to do that. Helping me close the show tonight, aside from Desmond, is the guy who can now add San Antonio Rodeo Barbecue Cook-Off Grand Champion to his resume. It's a huge win, and some might argue it's one of the biggest in Texas during the year. Here to recap the win and the weekend is the pitmaster of 03 Barbecue. It is Oscar Garcia joining us here on the show. Oscar, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. Good evening. How are y'all doing?
Doing absolutely fabulous, Oscar. Neighbor Desmond is sitting in as well tonight, so he's very honored to be talking to a Texas champion, no doubt. Oscar, first time on the show, so we're going to get a little background on you first, but there is a bit of a bet going on amongst some of us here in the background talking about what 03 stands for, so give us the real answer and make one of us a winner.
Well, I'm actually the third Oscar. My grandfather's Oscar, my dad's Oscar, and I'm the third, so it just seemed fitting to be the 03 barbecue.
Well, I guess I won $25. Yes, I did. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations
to
you.
10% cut, absolutely. I always like to give 10% to the people that are helping me out. All right, Oscar, so let's talk a little bit about your background. I mean, I don't want to just assume that you're kind of a Texas born and bred guy, but if you are, I assume being around live fire is part and parcel of the whole lifestyle.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Born and raised Harlan, Texas. Couldn't wait to leave, and it seems like once it was time to leave, I didn't want to leave, and so here I am. Never left.
Was that just like the rebellious youth of wanting to get out from under wing, or like did you have some other ideas of why you wanted to get out?
No, I just wanted to explore. I've always been a traveling kind of person, and always looking for the unknown, and it just seems that everything that I love to do is here. I love to hunt, I love to fish, and I love to barbecue. I love warm weather, so it just all fitting to be here.
Oscar Garcia joining me here on the show, pitmaster of 03 Barbecue. When are you exposed to competition barbecue? I mean, a lot of us, especially down in your neck of the woods, it's something you just kind of grow up around, but competition is certainly a whole different monster. So did you get introduced to it through a friend? Did you see something in a magazine, or how are you brought into it?
No, actually, that's exactly how it started. Was through a friend, real dear good friend of mine, David Michael Gonzalez, and it kind of started out as a joke, and we went out there and hit up a barbecue event, and we just got hooked, and that was the end of that. This all started probably about 4 years ago, and I established O3 Barbecue back in April of 2018, in Beeville, Texas, at Springfest, and my wife and I, Valerie, did real well, and we just always had a dream to keep doing it, and we ended up putting a plan together, and it became a goal, and here we are today.
So you got, what is it, a year? Is it just a year or not even a year yet?
No, actually this April will be our 1 year anniversary to have O3 Barbecue.
So were you competing with your friend there for a little while too before you started O3 then?
We did. We made a run at it, and we actually got a top 10 in the IBCA organization our first year of cooking, and it really planted a seed, and we're watering that tree as much as we can.
Do you guys just decide that you wanted to be your own pit master and your friend wanted to be his own pit master, and that's why you end up going your own ways, or what's the deal with that?
No, actually, I really enjoy traveling, and I wanted to take this to another level as far as going out of state, and so that's why I did it. Him and I still cook side by side. We'll go to events and we'll be together, but I ventured off into West Texas. I went to North Texas, Central Texas. I even went to New Mexico, and it's just something my family and I enjoy doing. We enjoy traveling, and I visited more towns that I didn't even know existed in Texas now because of barbecue.
Is it all like IBCA stuff or a Texas sanction, or will you get into FBA and KCBS too?
Actually, I'm going to venture into KCBS in the near future. I really want to get my machine real nice, well oiled, and once I feel that, we'll take we'll step a different direction. But right now, it's definitely just IBCA. When we first started out, we actually paid some guy to let us sit at his camp so we could watch how an IBCA event ran, as far as turn-in times and when you start doing things, and just to see how the process is, and I'll probably end up doing that for a KCBS event.
Oscar Garcia joining me here on the show, pitmaster of O3 Barbecue. Oscar, have you competed in the San Antonio event before?
I did. This is actually my second year. Been real lucky to be able to return. United Rentals is our big sponsor there, Monster Grillers, over there with Kim and Carlos. They get our spot every year, and we're very fortunate to be a part of that.
So let's go ahead and take a look back at this past weekend from a cooking standpoint and a camp standpoint. Anything crazy happen, or did it seem like this was a championship-style cook for you guys?
No, it's every cook always has its little hiccups, and this one was no different. Once you get to cooking these big events, it's not really about what you do right; it's what you do wrong, and if you can minimize what you do wrong, that's usually when you come out on top. We did have some hiccups. The weather wasn't cooperating. It was real cold. I didn't have my cook trailer like I normally do, and so I had to cook out of a pop-up tent, and I slept on site, and my heater went out probably at 4 a.m. I couldn't even feel my feet. So it was definitely a out of the norm cook, but we adjusted. We did what we had to do, we had to start our rec tech a little earlier just because of how cold it was. But, a machine like that, once they're started and get going, they're just amazing. They make things happen.
From a proteins standpoint, I would assume everything seems to go on track for you guys. You have a pretty solid program that you're working as far as briskets, ribs, and chicken.
Yeah, we have a plan and we don't deviate. We like to think that our stuff is pretty good, and if we do make changes, it's very minor. But for the most part, we stay to the plan.
When winners are announced, I know some of maybe it's all of them, the Texas stuff, or at least IBCA, they do this ticketing system where they give you tickets, and then the guy actually calling out the winners is just reading out numbers, and then everybody quickly scans the tickets to see if they're the person that has the winning ticket, and then everybody realizes, oh, well, it's Oscar that won, or is this a similar situation?
Exactly the way it goes. I don't even know the numbers. My wife takes care of that. And when she nudges me, that means time to walk.
Do you wish that they would get out of the whole ticketing thing and have your name called at the end instead of taking that? I don't know, what is it? Could be 20 seconds. I mean, what happens if somebody's going to take a leak and they have the ticket? Then you get, you still call it the number and you got to wait for them to get back. Would you rather hear your name announced out versus the number and then the process of looking at it and then going, oh, hey, wait, that's me. Bingo.
I wouldn't think, or I don't feel it's that big of a deal. Of course, that's just my opinion. As far as the whole take a leak thing, it has happened.
Oh, really?
They don't. Oh yeah. They don't skip you. They just keep calling numbers, and they'll call you again. They'll call that number out again, and they give you till I want to say the last brisket call to claim that ticket. And there's been times where somebody will go claim a chicken walk in the middle of brisket. So it's not unheard of.
You're cooking on only Rectex, or do you have multiple cookers?
Actually, no. I have a homemade drum that I made, and I do cook on that. I sear my brisket, and that's where I do it. But it immediately goes to the Rectex. I cook my ribs 100% on my Rectex, and probably going to start doing my chicken just because it's so consistent.
Where are you guys going to be cooking at next?
That's something to be determined. My wife and I were looking at each other today, and we have a few obligations that we got to do in the next couple of weeks. But once those are over, it's going to pretty much open up, and we're going to hit the trail hard, just like we always said we were.
When you win an event like a San Antonio rodeo barbecue cook-off, do you feel like the next one you show up to, there's going to be a bigger bullseye on your back?
I just don't think about things like that. The sport's very humbling. I'm lucky to have friends in it that helped me get to here. I didn't do this alone. Chuck and Oki and Fred Robles, and the list goes on and on. But these guys, they just, I don't feel like we're more of a family, and we kind of take care of each other in that aspect. So this was one of those any given Saturdays. It could have been anybody. We had Lady Luck on our side, and we'll take it.
Oscar Garcia is the pitmaster of 03 Barbecue, and they just walked away with the grand champion of the San Antonio Rodeo Barbecue Cook-Off. Oscar, really appreciate you letting us get to know you a little bit, and congratulations again on the big win.
Yeah, if I got a minute, I'd like to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Choice San Manuel for providing us with our great meats. That's Louis and Marco Flores, Rectech Grills, Raymond, CeeLo, Jody, Adam, Chupacabra Seasonings, Alton Paris, Shell Sport Boats, SCB Boats, Wes and Kara Hudson, Grill Grates, Michael DePorta, United Rentals, Monster Grillers, Jail Audio, Ori Freeman, the Medicine Shop, Thomas Garza, Crawford Spirits. It's Brian Crawford, Texas Pepper Jelly, Craig Sherry, and Mitchell Smokehouse, Trey Mitchell. Those are all guys that really help us week in and week out on our sponsorships. keep us going.
All right, Oscar, man, way to get those in. I appreciate it.
All right, I appreciate it.
You got it. There he is, your winner, Oscar Garcia. Desmond, my man is a champion getting in. He's like NASCAR.
Yeah, and
I love it.
And the thing about it is that is very interesting to me is that he just said that he started competition 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So in that instance,
this isn't going to be you saying you and I are going to be starting competition. That ain't happening.
No, we're going to open up a restaurant.
No,
this is
we're
going to
not.
be Greg and neighbor Desmond's.
There's going to be.
Oh, we're definitely doing that.
There's a better opportunity that we are going to hit the competition trail than we're going to be opening up a restaurant. I can tell you that.
It's debatable.
I do want to give a thank you to Brian Crawford for setting that up. Actually, he had mentioned. I was going to forget that, but he mentioned Crawford Pittsburgh, so. I did want to say thank you to Brian for hooking that up. So
Thanks, Brian.
Big deal, man. It's a big
Appreciate
deal.
it.
San Antonio. Like it. Desmond, you want to do a lightning round while we got some time?
Sure.
Damn right you do. Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
You know how to play F, Marry, Kill?
Not doing it.
Yeah, you're going to do it.
Absolutely not.
What are you talking about? All right,
Fuck it, let's roll. Let's roll.
F, Marry, Kill. Paula Deen, Ann Burrell, Ina Garten. We're gonna F. Desmond, you suck at this game.
Burrell.
Okay, we're gonna marry
Paula Deen because her chicken is awesome.
And you're gonna kill Ina Garten? No, Desmond. Okay, here we go. Bobby Flay or Alton Brown? Come on. Which one?
What are you talking about? Bobby Flay, of course.
Okay. Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Pellet or offset?
Offset.
Gas or charcoal?
Charcoal.
Brady or Manning?
Manning.
Fat side up or fat side down?
Fat side down.
Jack Nicklaus or Tiger Woods?
Jack.
Wrong. Jack Nicklaus is a complete a-hole. I'll tell you.
I remember the story, but I'm just going off of...
Doesn't matter. My story.
Fine. Your story trumps my opinion.
Italian or Chinese?
Italian.
Sandwich or salad?
Sandwich.
Yes or no to stank meat?
No.
Sweater or hoodie?
Hoodie.
Family Guy or South Park?
Family Guy.
Cinco de Mayo or St. Patrick's Day?
I get drunk either way.
The Truth or Another's Feelings?
The Truth.
There you go. Neighbor Desmond doing a lightning round. How about that?
That's right.
Well, we'll kick it. And head into this last break as we get ready to close down shop here. Neighbor Desmond, unannounced, riding it out for the last 60 minutes.
That's right.
This is where I would talk to you about some big name sponsor coming on the show right now. So, what does that mean to you? If you've ever been looking to get on board with the show, you have a product or service that you think is unique, and you want to put it in front of an audience that has a built-in interest in the live fire barbecue, grilling, and cooking industry, well, the Barbecue Central Show might be something you want to think about. It's month to month. It's not huge dollars, especially if you start looking at going on terrestrial radio or television or something like that. The show's downloaded 20,000 plus times a month. Plus, you got views on Facebook and YouTube and whatever else we do around here. What else do we do around here, Desmond? Who knows? Craziness, tomfoolery, shenanigans. But, again, target market. Everybody that finds this show has some type of interest in the industry, henceforth potentially having an interest in your product or service. So if you're interested, hit me up, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. That's Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. And we are back to wrap the show right after this. Stick around. Be right back.
Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
You know it's true.
You're still using that thing?
you talking? Still, that's a classic, Desmond. How dare you?
Homoerotic. I love it.
Yeah, of course you do.
Yeah.
How about this? Sazerac or Old Fashioned?
Old Fashioned.
Does anybody do you even know what a Sazerac is?
You used to drink it.
Yeah, I did. Did you ever have it?
Yeah, I had it once.
You didn't like it. Is it the black licorice?
I've never been a fan of black licorice. Never.
I find that to be somewhat amusing. Well, I mean, it is an acquired taste.
It is.
There's no doubt about it. I have found that for most of my youth and adulthood, I hated black licorice. What are those? Good and Plenty's?
Ugh.
Right?
God, awful.
The worst. Normal black licorice like Twizzlers, but it's not red, it's black.
It's black.
Didn't like it.
Disgusting. Tastes like
but
cough
then
syrup.
something happened, and all of a sudden, I like black licorice. Especially Good and Plenty's. My favorite candy. I'm not eating candy anymore or drinking any pop because I'm trying to turn over a healthy lifestyle.
Okay.
But I'm on habit-forming week, Desmond. Habit-forming week. But I've learned that my palate changed. And, what can I tell you? I like it. So when I learned, I'm trying to remember where I first learned about the Sazerac. It was on some type of a YouTube channel. This guy at someplace in New Orleans. I fell in love with him in a manly way. This dude taught me how to make a old fashioned first. Then the Sazerac came and he would give you history about the drink. The romance was just incredible with this guy. He didn't really make it that good of a gin martini. I'd make a better one than he did. That was the only drop off. But everything else, this guy. And I was always thought I would love to get down to New Orleans, figure out where this guy bartends, belly up, and have him make me a Sazerac and then have conversation with this guy because he was like one of those old-timey tuxedo vest.
Pocket watch.
Yes. That guy. Making you classic handmade drinks, cocktails, if you will. And so I was like, well, I got to find this absinthe that everybody talks about. And then nobody was selling that. And I finally had to convince the Giant Eagle liquor store in Willoughby to order in a bottle for me, which they did. And, I think it's when made right. And if you can, it's like Skyline Chili as a Sazerac. I mean, an old-fashioned, they've bastardized the old-fashioned to a point where if you go somewhere, if you go to any restaurant like Cheesecake or some of these other places, they're going to muddle fruit in the bottom, and you're going to have pulp. I'm in the middle of a dissertation about old-fashioned, Desmond. Give me one moment.
I'm telling you, I went to Fleming's and I had an old-fashioned. It was beautifully made.
Did they muddle fruit at the bottom?
It wasn't muddled, but they did a nice job with the fruit.
Was it sitting on top, or was it in the drink? There should be no fruit in the drink, only garnish.
It was cherry.
In a drink.
Yeah, it was cherry, but it was in there.
It was in the bottom of the glass, though, wasn't it? Yeah, guess what? Wrong. Fire that person. It shouldn't use the sugar cubes, some water, Angostura bitters, orange rind, less the white pith because that's bitter.
Yeah.
And then you grind that or muddle that orange rind to express the essential oils out there. And that little concoction before the bourbon hits it is just spectacular. And then load up with ice and go ahead with your 4 ounces of bourbon. Away you go. That's a true old-fashioned.
See,
somehow they've made it with muddled oranges and cherries, and they put club soda in it. What are you doing?
You should be a mixologist.
What are you doing?
You should teach the people.
I should. But I'm telling you, that's wrong. Oh, well, we're way late. We got to get going.
Oh, shit, my bad.
All the way back in the first hour, we talked with Matt Eads, Grill Seeker, grillseeker.com, at Grill Seeker on Instagram. Look for the new book, Grill Seeker. Then we talked in the second hour with Max Good, AmazingRibs.com. And then we just talked with Oscar Garcia, the new grand champion at San Antonio Rodeo Barbecue Cook-Off. You're looking right at him and hearing him live in studio. Neighbor Desmond, right across the way from me, in the compound. He's the other part of the compound.
The other part of the compound.
Right. We fenced him in the compound because we like The Motleys.
Yeah, we're cool people.
We're a motley crew. See what
That's
I just did right there?
I appreciate that.
I did that. If you want to see him, who knows what the next time will be. Maybe he'll get called off next week. You see him. Big show planned for you next week, September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. And until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Good night now.